Good morning. Are your trade plans unravelling here, Dr. Fox?
Good morning.
Are they
Nice to see
unravelling?
you.
Now's not the best time to be asking for trade favours from the United
This is
States.
not the hand you wanted, is it? Why haven't you resigned?
When you're carrying a plan that split the cabinet,
President Trump says tariffs are the greatest. Come on, Dr. Fox.
and no, you'll be nowhere near a priority for a preoccupied President Trump.
I can think of no closer friend of the American people than Liam Fox.
Liam Fox, International Trade Secretary, came here to renew his plea for a post-Brexit trade deal.
It is our two nations that have the opportunity now to negotiate a trailblazing modern free trade agreement. Because we both fundamentally believe in trading and commercial freedom, our interests are not in opposition to other countries, and trade between us is not a zero-sum game.
But the main event today, guess who? The EU. Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker unsteady on his feet at the NATO summit earlier this month as relations with the US grew more unstable. He's coming to the White House for talks which could tip the balance of global trade. President Trump has a headache, and it's not going to be fixed by a hat. Make our farmers great again, he said on Monday. Today, a $12 billion farm bailout is mooted to fix a problem of the president's own making, as American agriculture is injured by retaliatory tariffs from around the world. Republican senators likened it to Soviet economics or the dark days of the Great Depression.
When you choose a war of choice, which is what this trade war is, and then you say afterwards, let's just solve it by buying people gold-plated crutches, the farmers and ranchers of America, they don't want crutches. They want to work. This is not making America great again. This is making America 1929 again.
Other countries have tariffs on us.
But Trump sees tariff tit for tat, like 25% on EU steel, as vital in protecting workers. And for proof, he said yesterday, Americans may have to not believe their own eyes.
Similar things with other countries, like the European Union. They're a big abuser. And just remember, what you're seeing and what you're reading is not what's happening.
The EU making life distinctly uncomfortable for President Trump with tariffs of their own, including on Kentucky bourbon.
2 centuries, 1 bourbon. That's how Jim Beam makes history. How will you make yours?
But Trump has threatened further tariffs, tweeting yesterday, "Tariffs are the greatest," before a few hours later wanting to abandon them entirely. Drop all tariffs, he wrote. It's one area where the UK government believes it does have some flexibility post-Brexit.
One of the big issues at the moment is around European and American cars. We have to follow the European tariffs while we're members of the European Union. But of course, were we outside that, we would have the freedom to deal with that ourselves.
But it's the EU and the US, two titans of the global economy, now thrashing this out, with iconic brands like Harley-Davidson caught in the crossfire. Trade wars are easy to win, Donald Trump has said. This one looks to have cost him $12 billion and counting.
Well, in the last half an hour, Donald Trump and Jean-Claude Juncker have met at the White House. They had some kind-ish words for each other, but it was rather an awkward meeting, really, overshadowed by reporters shouting questions at Donald Trump about the story that's dominating here in the USA. That is a story broadcast by CNN last night, a tape of a conversation between Donald Trump and his then lawyer Michael Cohen from September 2016. And in it, Trump and Cohen appear to be discussing a payoff and buying the rights to the story of a former Playboy model, Karen McDougal, who alleged she had an affair with the president, or now president, dating back to 2006, which he denies. Now, have a listen to this recording. The audio isn't always clear, the context isn't always clear, but listen out for the words "pay with cash" towards the end.
I need to open up a company for the transfer of all of that info regarding our friend David, so that I'm going to do that right away. I've actually come up and I've spoken to Alan Weisselberg about how to set the whole thing up with funding. Yes, and it's all the stuff, because you never know where that company, you never know where he's going to be. Correct. So I'm all over that, and I spoke to Alan about it when it comes time for the financing, which will be.
Listen, what financing?
We'll have to pay you. So
I'll pay the cash.
No. I got No. Hey, Don, how are you?
Well, news networks here have been zeroing in on those words, picking them apart to see if there's been any suggestion of illegality on the part of then candidate Trump. And where have we ended up once again discussing whether Trump in fact said one thing or the complete opposite? Those words, pay with cash. Trump's legal team said there was no payment and that this tape exonerates him, and he said don't pay with cash. Cohen's legal team says that the tape shows that Trump says pay with cash, and all the questions about the propriety of the payment that would raise. Why does this matter? It matters because that Michael Cohen is a former Trump loyalist. If his legal team can release this recording, what else does he know? What else might he say? It also matters because President Trump, then candidate Trump, his team denied all knowledge of this. Here is a tape showing that he did at least have some knowledge of it. So perhaps trade not at the forefront of the president's mind this evening as he fights this particular battle.